Musk Menagerie. As an entrepreneur, Elon Musk, he really started in 1995 with his very first business that he launched. As you go through, and he's in that time, in that what we call really a brief period of time, he's had numerous businesses coming out. I call them as a group the Musk Menagerie. And truth be told, some of his businesses have really have the possibility of transforming how we live on a regular basis, and some already have as you go through. This entails our critical thinking activity. You'll have a series of topics you can choose from to focus in on your paper. The directions are very clear and specific as you go through on critical thinking activity 1. Elon Musk, he first started in 1995. Really, of all things, he is a hard worker. By the time it's done, he's brilliant, yes. He's focused, yes. He is highly creative, yes, but he's a hard worker. His success isn't based upon happening to stroll into some idea. He created idea and he works 90 to 100 hours a week. And he doesn't have to now because he's highly successful, but I doubt that's ever going to sit down and change. He will be a hard worker until the very last breath that he takes, because that's just the nature of the man as you go through that we've seen so far. Regardless of opinions, whether you're an admirer, detractor, he's risen to become one of the great entrepreneurs of our time. We have a whole series of topics to talk about, to look on that and see some of the different things he's done, and you'll have a chance to explore one of your favorite topics as you go through. Really, by the time it's done, a lot of people, you have two choices. You can complete this assignment as an individual, a lot of people do, or you can sit down there and complete it as a group if you want to as well. As an individual, the directions are already in there. I'm looking for you to sit down there and describe the company, its mission, review its goal, and if it's meeting them, how successful is it? And what are your thoughts about the company, its goals, and its impact on society? You can even ask yourself more questions to cover, because this is just a brief overview, which is to some extent what this topic is, but I want you to focus in on the business part of it, because this is a business class as you go through. Same thing as a group. Really, group activities really, in my mind, make an awful lot more sense. This is a fun topic to talk about, all the different things that are going out there. If you find partners that you can sit down and work with, this works really good. You'll also have some very clear and specific directions that you'll have later on. I want you to use another video that I call Excellent Paper Writing Tips as you go through. Watch the video and use the structure. Frankly, as a professor, I read dozens of papers, well, actually hundreds of papers every single year as you go through. And I like to sit down and have something that's really interesting to me. I sit down and I give you some clear direction as to how to go about writing a great paper as you go through. And by the way, it's going to impact me because I'll pay more attention to the structure that you have, because if you follow these tips, you'll make the paper more interesting for me as a professor to read, as well as anybody else in your audience. By the way, it also is good to sit down there and follow this in other classes, because every professor likes to have a paper that's interesting to read. And it's part of our job, I know, except for the fact that the more interesting it is for us to review it, maybe the better grade that you get, but also it's more fun to write it when you sit down there and turn something in that is spectacular. Business writing is a little bit different than you learn in the English class. We don't use MLA, we use what I call the business format, single page space pages as you go through. All the paragraphs you have should be single space, double space between the paragraphs, and the paragraphs are not indented in the process. You're expected to have references, at least 3. You're expected to have a cover sheet, but you'll read more about that as you go through, and also watch the video on paper writing tips. Let's talk about the different companies that Tesla's involved with. Tesla, as you go through, it was founded in 2003 by a group of engineers. They really wanted to push the idea of driving electric, and by golly, it's taken off as you go through. So I want you to describe the whole activities of Tesla, where it's at. I'm looking forward to the next generation of batteries as it comes out as you go through. Do not include Solar City. Technically, it's part of Tesla. That's a separate topic for purposes of our class as you go through. So first topic is Tesla. You could also choose SpaceX. SpaceX has started out with just an interesting rocket ship company as you go through that was started not that long ago as you go, and the headquarters is here in Hawthorne, California, right by LAX airport. And so by the time it's done though, you have space tourism, you have a moon landing, which is a contract that SpaceX already has, and you also have the vision of Elon Musk landing on Mars. You also have asteroid mining. There's different activities out there. There's a whole series of things that SpaceX is going to be involved with. What a great topic to go through. And if you want to sit down and fall asleep, you study the Boring Company. What a cute play on words. Really, this is a huge vision. The idea of having cars traveling underground at 200 miles an hour in a loop, as we call it, as you go through, and covering vast distances in a short period of time, emerging out the other end inside your car with almost no energy use on your behalf as you go through. What an incredible concept. I have no idea if this will really launch, if we're going to buy into it, but by golly, it's already moving forward and there's several different activities happening. What a great opportunity to look at. Neuralink. Right now, Neuralink is focusing in on helping people recover functions in their brain. They actually have a large number of some of the most credible neurologists on planet Earth working for this company, trying to sit down there and help focus in on problems in the brain. I believe big picture wise though, we're looking by the time it's all done in the aspect of Neuralink of going through and having a neural net on top of your brain to sit down there and have all kinds of different activities. Maybe you could download this class in 15 years and remember exactly everything because it's wired into your brain by the time it's all done. Twitter, this is the latest endeavor for Musk as you go through, and we'll see what happens out of this. What an interesting topic. He's very opinionated about free speech. This is an interesting topic. Feel free to research this. I think it's really a fabulous opportunity for us as a world to sit down and watch this in action. The Solar City officially is part of Tesla, but it really is a whole different mission as you go through. Really, in California especially, we are putting a lot of solar panels all over the place. You have a hard time walking through some stores without stumbling across a Solar City representative as they go through and hawk their wares of solar panels or house batteries or anything else. What a great opportunity for us to sit down there and restructure our society, getting off the grid even when that's possible. What a great study as you go through. Starlink, Musk is polluting our space with thousands, literally thousands of teeny tiny satellites. Some are not much bigger than an old style coffee can as you go through, but is bringing the aspect of having high technology, even in regions without any wiring at all, as you go through with Starlink, where they can access the internet from any point on ground Earth. We'll see this happening probably not in the very far future, where the whole Earth is covered with Starlink as you go through. Elon Musk menagerie, what a great area to study. I hope that you enjoy this activity. Frankly, the aspect of this entrepreneur leading these companies all at the same time is pretty impressive by itself, but just the genius in applying technology to our daily lives really is what this critical thinking activity 1 is all about. Take care.